And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. What? Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors. Wash the dishes. Do it all. Said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona all together. One day, the king of Quadruple's messengers said, "Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Quadruple is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Forting." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Fiona. Ophelia said, "No way, Fiona! He's going to marry me." Ursula said, "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Ramona said, "All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad because she can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responded, "I got lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Cinderella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, all of Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 4 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, and then chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand to turn the 4 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 8 strong horses. And then Cinderella's clothes into a gathered crowd. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a quadtastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, mighty Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will turn back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Fortune was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona said all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince 14 dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince 14 was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Quadruple to find her, and brought the 2 tiny glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her stepsisters live, but instead of Cinderella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Kitty Annie tried on these glass slippers. Fiona at first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia said, but her feet are too small. Ursula and Ramona did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Suddenly, Prince 14 notices Swarla's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! Swarla gets so excited because she's happy to have her Prince 14 back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And then, take care, Andrew Stores. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 56 Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young woman named 56 Cinderella. 56 Cinderella had 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier. All 8 of them made 56 Cinderella do all the chores and watch her work. 56er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier all together. One day, the king of Sex Queen Quadrant Tublingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Sex Queen Quadrant Tublingham's His Majesty is going to throw a ball and with lots of food. And after dinner at 10 o'clock, whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Sex Queen Quadrant Tubling. Can I come? Asks 56 Cinderella. But she's not invited. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Fatima. No way, Fatima, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Ivana. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Verona. The rest say, all 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. They even tear her 56 Cinderella's party dress. Later, at 8 o'clock at night, 56 Cinderella is distraught, sad, and upset doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Sex Queen Quadrant Tubling. Suddenly, 56 Cinderella's very godmother arrives and comforts her. There now, 56 Cinderella, my dear. I can help with a bit of magic. And so, she waves her magic wand to do all the chores for 56 Cinderella. But she's not done yet. She says, 56 Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, 56 Cinderella has 56 pumpkins and 112 mice. 56 Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again. And to turn the 56 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 112 mice into horses, and 56 Cinderella's fairy clothes into gown and crown. 56 Cinderella says, I've never seen such a Sex Queen Quadrant Tubble-tastic gown. Get it out of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 56 Cinderella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't. But have fun, 56 Cinderella. But I would warn you, Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will get back to the way it was before normal. And gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. It's 9 o'clock now. 56-Rella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Sex Quinquagintin Tumlingham says, "Good evening, everyone." Prince Sex Quinquagintupling was wondering who to marry. "Isn't that right, son?" In which Prince Sex Quinquagintupling responds, "Yes, father, at 10 o'clock. 56-Rella arrives at the ball for the food first. Just in time!" 56-Rella then sees Prince Sex Quinquagintupling. Her mean, ugly, wicked stepsisters, Fatima to Xavier, say, "He's walking towards me!" Altogether, but Prince Sex Quinquagintupling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 56-Rella. After dinner, Prince Sex Quinquagintupling then asks, "May I have this dance?" And so 56-Rella responds, "I would be delighted." 56-Rella and Prince Sex Quinquagintupling dance happily together. But later, 56-Rella checks her clock. It's almost midnight! So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Sex Quinquagintupling was really worried that he might never see 56-Rella again. The king of Sex Quinquagintuplingham comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 56-Rella." And so, the king of Sex Quinquagintuplingham and Prince Sex Quinquagintupling traveled all around the neighborhood to find 56-Rella and brought the 2 glass slippers with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 56-Rella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 56-Rella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fatima to Xavier. Prince Sex Quinquagintupling then says, "Ladies, my father, the king of Sex Quinquagintuplingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these 2 glass slippers?" Fatima is first, but her feet are too big. Ivana is next, but her feet are too small. "Nonsense! They fit!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of Sex Quinquagintupling and the king of Sex Quinquagintupling, Prince, noticed 56-Rella's sweet singing. "Prince Sex Quinquagintupling and your majesty, is that you guys?" she hollered excitedly. "The glass slippers fit!" And 56-Rella, the king of Sex Quinquagintupling and Prince Sex Quinquagintuplingham lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doers, I hope this was a fun story parody. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye.